deal safely.
You're watching Cubs Classics presented by Prevagen, NL Central Rivalry Week. Let's get back to the action.
Todd Wellmeyer comes into the game for the 13th time. The ERA, devilish. And the opponent's hitting .244. So Wellmeyer's got a one-run lead. Sean Estes would pick up the win if the Cardinals don't tie it the rest of the way, as the Cubs answer the Cardinals' 3 spot with a 3 spot of their own in the 5th.
Let's see if the young flamethrower can pump over some strikes now against Palmeiro, who's had an underappreciated series, I think, Steve. He's had a couple of big hits, certainly, but his play defensively really opened a whole lot of eyes here in Chicago.
There was a couple of plays that they're going to be showing for a while. The throw out at home plate was real good, but the one where he went into the ivy to save the game off the bat of Ramon Martinez was extraordinary. That game went 15. The Cubs won the game, but for the Palmeiro heroics, and he's had a real good year. Picked up a World Series ring last year, and he's followed it up with a solid year this year.
Wellmeyer's got a real good changeup. He's missed with it here in our 6th inning of play.
Well, you can back it up with another changeup. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
2-2 to Palmeiro. And Todd has worked both as a starter and as a reliever in the minor leagues, but I think the latter is going to be his destination when he finally sticks with the big league club.
When the Cubs sent him down, they sent him down as a starter because they wanted him to pick up some innings. Let's hope he gets his fastball over.
Palmeiro swings through it. 1 down.
That fastball at 95-96 is real effective when you factor in his straight change, and he's working to refine his slider. This is just a blazing fastball, and Palmeiro swings through it. Good way to begin the 6th inning. Wellmeyer is going to be a very big factor in the major leagues before it's over. He's not afraid of anything, and he has a tremendous arm.
Here's Bo Hart.
I'm sure they haven't seen a whole lot of Wellmeyer. They're going to realize that they're going to have to heat it up because he's got a big fastball. Just as soon keep that fastball on the outer third for Hart.
1-2. Eats him up. He's got a terrific arm.
Well, he's shown us, and I'm talking about Bo Hart now, that he can hit a fastball middle in. The reason why that batting average has dropped from the mid 3s to the high 2s is his inability to hit the breaking ball.
Todd took a little off on that pitch, and Hart lucky to stay alive. 1-2 your count. Remember, if this stays a 1-run game, the Cardinals have a whole lot of left-handed thunder left with which to play.
Look in, that's a fastball up and in.
Hart drives it over the roof.
Yesterday's game saw Sanchez, Alfonseca, Guthrie, and Borowski come out of the pen. Remember, the youngster Felix Sanchez has a real bright future.
The outside corner has been closed all day today. The 2-2 pitch to Bo Hart. There you go. Count. J.D. Drew, left-hand hitter, waiting next for St. Louis.
To me, like he did check his swing, and it was a good call by Eric Cooper. Hart loses the bat as that one drifts away. He's done a nice job of staying alive. He knows representing the tying run, if he can get on ahead of J.D. Drew, this will become a very valuable at bat.
Wellmeyer kicks and fires now. Fly ball center field right at Lofton. Let's see if Kenny has any difficulty. The answer no. 2 outs.
Well, the sun now certainly has shifted angle. It's going to be a lot easier for the outfield to see the ball. There's been a couple of misplays, but the Cubs have a 1-run lead.
And of the bullpens, you got to figure the Cubs might be the fresher of the two. Farnsworth available. Remlinger hasn't pitched in a while. Guthrie's been a situational guy. You've got Borowski at the end. So Dusty, I think, has a few more options than St. Louis, who will have Isringhausen ready today if needed.
The Cubs want to buy a couple of innings with Wellmeyer. And if they can do that, then they can mix and match a little later in the game.
A long way to go, as we've seen. No lead safe in this matchup in Chicago. 1-1 to Drew. That's at the knees and sinking out of sight. 1-2 to him.
Well, if you want to go to the good face-high fastball, this is a good time for it. But again, we stress make it face-high.
Line towards second and over the head of Mark Rudzelanek. J.D. Drew has his second hit of the day.
Mako wanted it away. Wellmeyer got it in, and it turned out to be a base hit. So a good piece of hitting by Drew. And now you have to face Pujols, and that's never an easy task.
2 runs scored for Pujols today. A 2-for-3 afternoon, including an RBI. Just when you think you figured out a way to pitch him, he figures it out against you.
That's why he's leading the league.
I don't know if he's going to be the MVP. I do know he's going to get a lot of votes, and it's hard to argue against either Bonds or Pujols for that honor.
Well, great years, and Albert just seems to be getting better. This is just his 3rd year in the league. Last year he hit .314, 34 and 127 on the power numbers. This year the numbers are better. He's hitting higher. He'll hit more home runs. He'll drive in more runs. And both the advanced scouts and the players have tried to find the soft spots. There aren't any. And by the way, he does get the 3-0 green light.
Tony La Russa said of Pujols, he's the best player I've ever managed, period. End of story. He's had some great ones.
Well, he had a young and an older Mark McGwire, who was pretty good when he was young and when he was older.
Jose Canseco out in Oakland. That's a strike. Pujols thought he earned the walk. 3-1 the count.
Neither side is particularly happy with a few of the calls today. But again, as we've always said, they do look a whole lot better when they go your way.
There's no question. I thought that was a great call. 3-1 to Pujols.
Look, waist high down the middle of me.
And Albert waits just an extra second to make sure. And Wellmeyer issues the walk, and that'll bring up Rolen.
And that's why the base hit by Drew was such a big base hit, because it kept the inning alive. And as you go through the heart of the order, you really don't have any guys that you would say, here's a place I can relax. And bear in mind, before it's over, we're going to see Jim Edmonds in this game.
He pinched it yesterday.
He pinched it to end the game.
But his knee's still too sore to allow him to play in the field, although the Cardinals are hoping he'll be ready for their next series. Here's Rolen. He's walked, has an infield hit, and struck out. Estes can win it, but Wellmeyer and the rest of the pen have to hold the Cardinals at bay here. And now Dick Pohl, who's acting as the pitching coach. Remember, Larry Rothschild ejected after the 5th inning. Will come out and chat.
I had a chance before the game to talk with the general manager, Walt Jocketty, and saw a familiar face, Jim Leyland, former manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates and later the world champion Florida Marlins before moving on to the Colorado Rockies. He's now scouting for St. Louis. He was there with Mike Squires. You might remember him as a White Sox player. And I talked with Walt about the knee of Edmonds, and you might remember the catch in this series he made in center field, a tremendous catch. Edmonds had a great series both with the bat and with the glove. His presence out of the lineup is never a real good thing for St. Louis. The Cubs certainly don't miss him, but we know that he will be available, and before it's over, we'll factor in this one.
Rolling in the box after the Cubs conclude their mound meeting. Drew's at second, Pujols at first. Cubs by a run in the 6th. Now Rollins gotten the youngster right where he wants him now. 2-0 the count. Fouled away off the headgear of Paul Bacco. Ground ball to short, that ought to end the inning. They'll flip to second in plenty of time. Wellmeyer works a scoreless 6th. Cubs bats come back to the plate, leading by a run with the lower 3rd coming up.
Let Marquee Sports Network deliver fresh baseball news and analysis to you with Cubs 360 Daily. Though baseball may be on pause, we're pulling together the most knowledgeable voices coming to you daily from their home to yours.
The reason I got the 4 Gold Gloves, the 2 words, Sean Dunston. If it wasn't for taking care of Sean, I would have never got those 4 Gold Gloves.
Cubs 360 Daily, fresh each weeknight at 7:30 on Marquee Sports Network. Proudly presented by Miller Lite.
Introducing new Voltaren Arthritis Pain Gel, the first and only full prescription strength non-steroidal anti-inflammatory gel available over the counter. New Voltaren is powerful arthritis pain relief in a gel. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Restaurants are our family, the cornerstone of our communities. And our family needs help. Right now, they're facing a crisis, and they're counting on your takeout and delivery orders to help them through. Because if we don't treat restaurants like family today, they might not be around to treat us like family tomorrow. Grubhub. Together, we can help save the restaurants we love.
I got your back, you got mine. Think about you all the time. Together we can come through. That's what love's made of. When we can't be close, we can still be close.
When America's service members move forward, they're unstoppable. Unstoppable in their mission. Since 2003, Wounded Warrior Project has advocated for these heroes. Our mission is helping injured veterans achieve their highest ambition with free services in mental health, career counseling, and long-term rehabilitative care. And warriors never pay a penny for our programs. They're unstoppable heroes. Support warriors today at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Get to know where to place your next bet on Follow the Money on Marquee Sports Network. Vegas veterans Mitch Ross and Paulie Howard host this hour-long show, share their knowledge of sports and gambling.
If they keep that together, who knows what happens in 99 and 2000. Maybe it's a 5-beat right then and there.
Get the most up-to-date information in live odds, predictions, and betting trends from the sports gambling capital of the world. Follow the Money, live weekday mornings at 6 on Marquee Sports Network.
So let's get some more runs. Cubs lead by 1 here in the 6th inning. And Josh Pierce will go to work and try to complete his first full inning of play today.
Still a most entertaining ball game. As you can see, St. Louis took the lead. The Cubs answered with 3. And when the Cardinals came back, the Cubs came back. They both put 3 on the board in the 5th. So a 1-run lead, precarious against the Cardinals.
Alex Gonzalez has an RBI. That was a second inning sacrifice fly. And he also fly to right. A good play by So Taguchi, who has since departed the proceedings. 1 strike to Alex. And that misses low. Andy Pafko is going to be the 7th inning stretch guest conductor today. Andy, a star in the 1945 World Series with the Cubs.
Spent 17 years in the big leagues. And that's a long career regardless of what era you played in. I would say in 45 when you drive in 110, that's a pretty good year.
No doubt. Well, Andy also one of those players who, if 300 people come up to greet him and say, "We saw you make your major league debut," they're right on target. Only 314 were at Wrigley Field September 24th, 1943, when he made his trip to the big leagues. A fly ball into shallow right center field. Thru gingerly gallops over and makes the play for the first out of our 6th inning of play.
Sometimes you have to be in the right place at the right time, and not only did Andy play in the World Series for the Cubs, but he also got there with the Dodgers in '52 and the Braves in '57 and '58. And you know, the shares for the World Series in those days were absolutely astonishingly large.
No question.
So we'll be asking him for maybe some per diem as we head north.
Here's Bacco. He's reached on an error and he struck out swinging. And both Wellmeyer and Pierce giving their managers exactly what they were hoping and praying they do. That's scoreless innings. Cubs want to change that around here with Randall Simon waiting next. Off the plate. Sharply hitting into center field. Bacco aboard with his first base hit of the day. Well, he's swinging a much more confident bat from the left side for the Cubs at the moment.
If he gets a low fastball, he's going to hit it hard, and that's what he's been doing the last month or so. Widger wants it low and away, and Pierce gets it low and out over the plate. Rifled right back up the middle, and now it'll be Randall Simon. So Chris Widger wisely going to the mound to talk with Pierce. He knows he hasn't seen Simon. Widger knows the scouting report. Simon might not. I mean, Pierce might not, so he goes out to talk to him.
So Randall Simon will take his first turn. Got a nice email from Jeffrey Wilson watching the game on Fox today.
What does Jeffrey have to say for himself?
Oh, it's not too good about Ronnie. He said he saw Ronnie strike out on an intentional walk tried to be issued by Al Raboski. Can you believe that?
I don't doubt it.
A cue ball shot. Tough play. Pierce picked it up. It was spinning toward the line, and the youngster made a rookie mistake.
Yeah, you don't have any choice right there but to let the ball go. You're not going to make a play at either second or first. And you know that Bacco's not going to get to third, so let the ball spin and see what happens. But when you pick it up, you know you have no chance. This ball looks like it's headed into foul territory and would have been a foul ball. But Bill Hahn on the call, and Pierce picked it up, and it cost him a hit. And so now the Cubs in business.
1 out, 2 on for Kenny Lofton, who singled in the 5th inning of play. Boy, a couple of runs here would be awfully large. 6-5 the lead in the 6th. And that one spins away. Cubs fans, follow the Cubs with a subscription to Fine Line, the Cubs official monthly magazine. From team analysis and behind-the-scenes features to coverage of this year's pennant race, Fine Line delivers it all. Newcomers Aramis Ramirez, Kenny Lofton, and Doug Glanville are on the cover of the September issue. On sale now. Little pop to the shortstop. Renteria drifting out is going to make the grab at a tough sky, and Lofton is the second out.
Mark Grudzielanek, since rejoining the team after that broken hand, has come through with some big hits. Not Benny bigger than the triple yesterday or the 2-run double last inning. And he gets an opportunity to add to the lead. Grudzielanek having a miraculous year. And when you look at all the options for Jim Hendry in the wintertime, he wound up trading Todd Hundley for Karros and Grudzielanek. Both of them have played pivotal roles in the Cubs' success this year.
That's right through there for a strike. Pierce trying to pitch his way out of a mistake and a mess of his own making here.
Grudzielanek with that batting average now up over 310.
It scores another run. Baco runs well at second base. Despite the position he plays, it's strike two. Makeup game underway in Kansas City. That's right. The Diamondbacks are playing the Royals today. That's a makeup from an earlier postponement, and Kansas City leads by a run.
And the Diamondbacks had to fly to Kansas City and will have to fly back to the West Coast after the game. Both of those teams doing a whole lot of air work.
Little roller had him reaching, and Pierce pitches out of the 6th inning. Good job by the rookie. 2 hits, nothing comes of them, and after 6, Cubs still lead it by a run. 6-5 your score.
This is a payday bar. It has a truckload of peanuts and a caramel core that gets the job done. It's 10.5 centimeters of awesome. Unless you get the king size, which is 14.7 centimeters of oh yeah. Payday. Get to it.
Hey guy. Hi there. Welcome to Hims.
Should have done it years ago, and I feel like the young stud that I always imagined I was.
Outstanding product. Works above and beyond our expectations.
This has been a life changer, even in just a few weeks.
Featured in GQ, Playboy, and Men's Health. Find out what all the buzz is about.
Go to forhims.com/ed and get started with a free online visit while supplies last.
At Domino's, we think it's important to look on the bright side right now.
I finally got some toilet paper on Monday.
Almost every night, me and my family have had dinner together, which we haven't done in years.
You know, enjoying the fam with the little guy?
I really like that I can wear yoga pants every day.
And you can still get specialty chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, medium 2-topping pizzas, or any 2 or more mix and match items for just $5.99 each. So that's something else to be glad about.
I'm just glad I don't have to share with you guys.
That's the spirit.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. Knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle, looks like advanced engineering, and smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy, mow with an attitude.
I got your back, you got mine. Think about you all the time. Together we can come through. That's what love's made of. When we can't be close, we can still be close.
It's a new day, a new time. And through it all, through the challenges, through the concern, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois is here, bringing you the care, comfort, and calm you've always depended on. In sickness and in health, we are in this together. We'll get through this together. So for a trusted resource, take heart in knowing Blue Cross is standing by you, with you, and for you, through it all.
You're watching Cubs Classics, presented by Prevagen, NL Central Rivalry Week. Let's get back to the action.
It's double your pleasure time in the 5th inning. 3 two-base hits. The Cardinals got 3, the Cubs got 3. Frankly, the Cubs happy to have a 1-run lead this afternoon.
And Moises Alou doing what he did all yesterday. And the Cubs have a lead. The game now in the hands of the bullpen. Both bullpens up and going, by the way, as Renteria leads it off.
And Wellmeyer misses inside to Renteria. He's walked twice. He's flied out once. He's 1 for 16 in this series.
Pierce's spot due up 4th. And there is a lot of left-handed thunder on the bench.
Come on, Todd, throw strikes.
With that in mind, Remlinger throwing in the pen.
2-ball count to Renteria. Even with the wind blowing, this guy's got real good power. All 3, 3-0.
Well, the problem putting on Renteria is he's their best base runner. And when you look at the numbers and you realize that Renteria has stolen 28, been caught only 5 times, this would be damaging, and it is.
So Wellmeyer walks his second man on 4 straight pitches. And now Miguel Cairo is up. He's had 2 very odd RBIs today. Let's see how the Cardinals play it. Do they bunt here? Or do they let him swing away?
Well, the usual rule of thumb, and of course Tony doesn't manage by the book any more than Dusty does, but they always say don't play for a tie on the road, which would make this a real good situation for the hit and run. But Wellmeyer is going to have to speed up his delivery home, as he's got their most prolific base runner on first base. Only one other Cardinal in double figures. That's Scott Rowland.
He's going on the first pitch, and Cairo makes a real bad decision. He swings at that ball unless it was the hit and run.
It was the hit and run.
If he lets it go, Renteria is easily in at second base, but Cairo, following instructions from the bench, fouls it out of play for a strike.
You look at Renteria and he looks back. That is the tip-off that it's the hit and run. So you really don't know what kind of jump he's going to get. He didn't have a big lead, and Cairo had to protect. So with Jose Oquendo at third, Dave McKay at first, he's gone over and talked to Renteria about what he wants to do.
Randall Simon holds the runner at first, not going this time, and that's ball one low.
Long look down at Jose Oquendo, who was a real smart middle infielder in his days. And as he gets the sign from Tony La Russa, he radios it to Miguel Cairo.
Good pitch. Perfect spot. 1-2 your count. If you can get Cairo, you've got Widger next, and again, as a catcher, he's an ideal double play candidate.
That is indeed if Widger's going to come to bat. And again, they have a plethora of left-hand hitters on the bench.
And they have Matheny, Girardi, and Marrero, all of whom could catch the rest of the way if they decide to lift Widger from the game. 1-2 pitch, runner at first with nobody out. Cubs protecting a 1-run lead.
And the left-handers are Vina, Tino Martinez, Jim Edmonds. You would save Edmonds for later in the game, I would assume. But Vina and Martinez will factor into this one.
1-2. Line dropped by Simon, can't pick it up. Now he's got a hustle to the bag, and he wins that race. Tough break. If he catches it, it's a double play.
Well, Randall Simon made a real good play, and Renteria made the only play he could make. Once you've taken off, you got no chance of getting back. You might as well continue on your path. Randall Simon with a good heads-up play, tagging the bag and getting the out. Once it rolled out of his glove, no chance to get Renteria at second. And Widger will hit for himself.
So Tony La Russa sticking with Widger here, hoping that he's a hot hand. He doubled home a pair in the 5th inning. Now Jose Oquendo in. Maybe the Cardinals are going to change their mind. I think they are going to change their mind.
I was
Tino Martinez, I think, is going to
a little surprised when Widger came to bat anyway. And now it is going to be Martinez.
So the decision now, Dusty Baker's. Do you let Wellmeyer face Martinez, or do you bring on Remlinger, who's had plenty of time to loosen up? Martinez announced. Widger departs 1 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in. Now let's see, are the Cubs going to walk Martinez? Dusty, I think, put up the 4 sign here. So they will.
No, they're not going to walk him.
I was going to say, well,
no, they're going to send Baco out to talk with Wellmeyer.
Give him a little more time.
Give him a little more time. You're not going to put the tying run on first in the 7th.
When Dusty put his hands up, I couldn't see his thumb. When he put up 4, I said, they're going to walk him here. So he said to go talk to him instead. So Martinez will wait a little longer as the chess game continues between La Russa and Baker. And now indeed Dusty's going to come out. And we will have Remlinger coming into the ball game, and another double switch forthcoming. So it's 6-5, runner at second, one out. Double switch for the Cubs brings Tony Womack into the game. He'll play second base. Womack will hit in the 6th spot in the batting order. And now on to pitch is left-hander Mike Remlinger. He will face Tino Martinez, then the pitcher spot, and then we'll see here in the 7th.
Remlinger comes on for the 62nd time. The record at 5-5, the ERA just under 4. He inherits pretty good base runner at second base. And Edgar Renteria caught a real good break, as did the Cardinals. That ball just trickled out of the glove of Randall Simon. Otherwise, it's a double play and a lot easier situation for Dusty Baker and the Cubs. This way, with him in scoring position, you flip-flop the batting order, you bring Remlinger in, and he'll be looking at Tino Martinez, who's 1 for 5 lifetime against Remlinger.
Then the pitcher spot, and that's where the Cardinals are a little shorter in today's game with that right-hand hitting lineup. They have Matheny, Girardi, and Marrero available from the right side if they choose to go that way against Remlinger. Robinson, Edmonds, and Vigna still left from the left side for St. Louis. Runner at second, one out. Cubs leading 6-5.
Well, Fernando Vigna is hitting over 400 against Remlinger, and I would think that would be the choice, as Remlinger at times has had more success against the right-handers than the left. But then again, Tony makes gigantic money to make those decisions.
Here's Martinez, and the first pitch darts too far inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Tino Martinez has been a real solid player. He's replacing a legend. That's never an easy thing to do. But in the 2 years he's worn the Cardinal uniform, he's played great defense, and he's gotten some big hits.
1 ball, no strikes. We're in the 7th inning. Ball 2. And now Baco out to talk things over. Of the Cubs pen men, Mike might be the freshest guy out there. He has pitched, in fact, once in this series, and that was game 1 of the doubleheader, a 2-inning stint.
Unfortunately, both teams are at the point where you have expanded rosters, meaning you're not limited to 25 and you can bring whoever you want from the minor leagues. Consequently, a few more arms than you'd normally have. But in this pressure cooker of an atmosphere, you want to go with the experience.
Three balls, no strikes. Would they green light Martinez in a 1-run game?
I wouldn't think so, but you can't just lay it in there.
3-1.
You still have the advantage of being able to sit back and look for a fastball with a 3-1 count.
Martinez aboard, second walk of the inning. First by Remlinger. Now Pierce is taken down, and it's going to be Mike Matheny.
Matheny at 2 for 7 lifetime against Remlinger.
Mike's thinking about a ground ball here, and now Dick Pole out for a chat. Matheny is hitting a 10 double plays.
Well, I think one of the things he wants to tell both Mike Remlinger and Alex Gonzalez at shortstop is you want to keep Renteria close at second, because he's going to be thinking about stealing third base. They know they've got an inviting double play target up in Matheny. And so they're going to want to coordinate with Gonzalez, number one, what the signs are going to be, because they're probably going to change him this late in the game as he goes out to tell Womack what signs they're using.
So Josh Pierce gives the Cardinals 1 2/3 of 2 hits, scoreless baseball, and that's the big key for St. Louis.
Well, they also want to know how Remlinger is going to approach Matheny, because that will determine who they're going to use to chase back Renteria at second.
Palmeiro waiting on deck. Top of the hour, 2 on, 1 out. Double play situation for Matheny. And Mike can't throw a strike. Want to know your count.
Matheny started yesterday's game, had a couple of hits, and did roll into 1 double play.
Crowd nervously on the edges of their seats here at the ballpark. 2-0 the count. Line drive, base hit right field. Here comes Renteria around third. They're going to wave him. O'Leary loads up, and they'll run on him at every opportunity. You fall behind against Matheny, 2-0, and the 2 walks come back to roost. Cardinals have tied the game 6-6. Matheny gets an RBI. Martinez stops at second, and now Palmeiro the hitter. So Estes can't win the game. Charge that run to Wellmeyer. And St. Louis not done yet here in the 7th inning.
Well, leadoff walks with real good base runners are tough to pitch around. And Renteria scores easily. Still runners at first and second. Only 1 out.
And now Jose Oquendo, a long walk down the third base line.
He's talking with Palmeiro, who came in the flip-flop batting order. He was a strikeout victim leading off last inning.
Now Bill Hahn saying to Palmeiro and Tony La Russa, let's go. If you're going to do something, let's do it here. I think they're thinking about a pinch runner. And also gives Dejan more time to warm up, and it makes Remlinger wait here. Somebody's trying to find the right running helmet, apparently. And I think it's going to be Simon Tachi who's going to come in and run for Martinez here. So rather than use another bench player, which might come in to play later on, they'll use Simon Tachi, who's active but not participating, at least not to this point. Two are on, 1 is in. Still 1 out. Here's Palmeiro. He struck out his first and only time up. Andy Pafko patiently waiting for our 7th inning stretch, as are we. We'd love a ground ball at somebody here. Popped up back toward us. Baco in the bright sunshine momentarily. Now back toward the screen. Has it pop out of his glove.
He just overran the ball. And because you're a veteran and you know that the ball's going to rotate back toward the field of play, that probably will be an error. It's a very costly play, and a play normally that Paul makes. He just didn't make it that time.
He ran right up to the screen and then put on the brakes too late. 2, and that's the proper call. So Remlinger gets a strike on Palmeiro. Now has 2 of them on his man.
Looks like the bullpen is going to get up one more time, and I think it's Kyle Farnsworth.
That is who it is. 2 strikes to Palmeiro. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Runners first and second. And a good stop. That saved 90 feet of bases. 1-2 the count.
Both these managers have made a great deal of moves in each and every one of these games.
Right down the middle. And Palmeiro takes strike 3. Now here's an interesting decision. We talked about Bo Hart. You've got Farnsworth, who just got up in the bullpen with that blazing fastball. You have a left-hand pitcher. You have a right-hand hitter who wears out the fastball.
Not interesting at all. Farnsworth is getting ready for Pujols.
So let's see if he can make it academic until the 8th inning. 2 on, 2 out. Here's Hart. Off the plate, ball 1.
By the time this one's over, Andy Pafko might have another ring from a World Series. He's been waiting patiently.
Let's hope it's worth the wait. 1 ball, no strikes. Swung right through that.
Remember, you've got a pitcher out at second base, although Simon Tachi's a pretty good athlete. He doesn't run the bases near as much as a position player, so you might have a shot on a base hit.
1 more strike, and Andy Pafko will be singing here.
And he'll be singing in a tie game, which is the best case scenario for the Cubs, as the fans, as they've done all series long, get up on their feet. Boy, what a greeting for Andy Pafko. They know he's getting ready to sing.
The 1-2 pitch. Well, here the advantage goes to Simon Tachi and Matheny now. They'll be running with 2 outs and a full count to Hart. Three-two pitch. There go the runners. And Hart just does stay alive. That ball was up and out of the zone. Runners go again. Popped him up. Womack just checked in. He's in position. Makes the play. Cardinals get 1. They settle for the tie. 6-6 our score. And let's re-welcome Andy Pafko to Wrigley Field for Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
And former Cubs great and a member of the 1945 National League champion Chicago Cubs, Andy Pafko.
I was very fortunate to play in the last Cubs World Series in 1945. I think it's time to be in another World Series, and I hope this is the year. Okay, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jam. I don't care if I ever get back so much fruit. Run for the crowd. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Well, this is overwhelming. Where to start? Listen to celebrity decorators with their $1 million budgets and enormous staff? That's realistic. Or just step into a store. Oh, no. There's a better way. You've skimmed catalogs. You've browsed through blogs. You know what you like when you see it. Artful contemporary, Scandinavian minimalism, organic modern. You know what you want. Overstock's where you find it. Now let's get to work. A sofa, a floor lamp, an area rug. Never forget the area rug. Everything you need with free shipping every day. Easy, right? Getting it done with Overstock, where quality costs less.
Restaurants are facing a crisis, and they're counting on your takeout and delivery orders to make it through. Grubhub. Together, we can help save the restaurants we love.
We got one of those new purple mattresses, and it is amazing. You have to try it.
Oh, this doesn't feel like memory foam. No. This feels amazing.
Right?
What is it?
Actually, it's called Purple, and it's a completely unique comfort technology, meticulously designed to cradle and support the human body.
Cool.
Visit purple.com/TV or call 1-888-5-PURPLE.
Sure.
Yeah, we all want to know, honey, so.
Blue. Blue means boy. Blue means boy.
If you ride, you get it. Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
I had a husband who was my vision, but when he died, I knew I was in big trouble.
At care.com, search for lots of local caregivers who can help with meals, housekeeping, personal care, and more. It costs less than you think, and it's easy to pay. Care.com.
Sometimes buying a car is a necessity. CarGurus contactless services can help. Safely find the best deals available when you search by private dealer appointments, at-home test drives, and contactless purchase. CarGurus. Find a great deal safely.
I'm Jason Hayward.
I'm Chris Bryant.
I'm Javi Baez. And you're watching Marquee Sports Network.
Changes for St. Louis defensively as we head to the 7th inning, tied at 6. Mike Matheny stays in the game, and Mike DeJean on to pitch. And he will face Troy O'Leary going to work first. And he jumps on the first ball, bounces that to the shortstop. Renteria gloves it, makes the play to first as we welcome Andy Pafko back to Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Very good.
Andy, great to see you, man. Nice job of singing, and I think you hit it on the head. You were part of the last Cub World Series performing team.
It's hard to believe back in 1945, and Chip, I think this is the year we can do it.
Do these kinds of games remind you of any that you played 57 years ago?
I played in 4 World Series, so they're all different. But I just hope for the Cub fans. To me, they're the most loyal. So anybody deserves a pennant, it's the Chicago Cub fans.
1 strike to Moises Alou, who's walked, doubled, and driven in a run today. And he's facing Mike DeJean as the Cubs and Cardinals are tied again in the 5th game of this series.
Well, you just assume the Cubs score something here because the shadows are starting to move over home plate. The visibility will very much favor the pitcher, but right now both hitter and pitcher in sunshine. What was it like here with no lights, playing late in the afternoon? Because when you played here, of course, there wasn't any lights.
I never thought there'd be lights in my lifetime, but one day I came out after they put the lights in, and I came out early, and I sat down in the left field stands, and I just can't believe it. But I guess they were forced to, because then what if they got in the World Series? I mean, it wouldn't be right to play in St. Louis or somewhere because they play a lot of night games now.
Yeah. If they do get in a World Series,
oh boy,
you can bet it won't be in St. Louis.
Oh, not this year. I hope it's right here this year.
That didn't feel good. Alou fouls that ball right off the ankle, and he's writhing around. And Dusty Baker out as Alou fouled a ball off his leg here in the 7th inning. And we can't lose this guy.
Moises wears a shin guard, but that ball hit him in an unprotected spot. Looked like it might have hit him above the shin guard.
Must be in a lot of pain.
We'll take another look at it. You see the shin guard on the front leg, and it looked like it hit him off the inside of the knee.
That is where it got it. Ouch.
Just above the shin guard on the inside of the left knee, excuse me. And hopefully he's going to be okay. And you're right, Chip, the Cubs can ill afford to lose him. He's been a pretty hot bat in this series.
Andy, we joked earlier today about the old adage when a guy has a great performance at Wrigley Field, 150, 200 people will come up and greet him and say, I watched you pitch, or I watched you hit that game-winning home run. When someone comes up to do that to you, when 314 people come up and say they saw you make your major league debut at Wrigley Field, they weren't lying. That's how many people were here that day.
I recall that day. It was kind of a rainy day. I was hoping they wouldn't call, not play, but we did play. And fortunately, we did play, but I got 2 hits and then knocked in 4 runs, so I got off to a good start.
So more than 314 came out for the next game you played, you guess?
I don't recall that, but I do remember my first ball game.
Moises Alou back in the box. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bases are clear. We are in the 7th inning. Visiting with Andy Pafko, former Cub great, here at Wrigley. Alou earns the walk. Dejan, who hasn't exactly distinguished himself in this series, he's had a rough time of it from time to time. He issues a 1-out walk, and let's see if Ramirez can make him pay for that.
Well, the Cubs have hit the ball very hard against Dejan, but they don't have a whole lot to show for it. With St. Louis, he's 1-0. This is his 8th appearance. His ERA more than a run better than his overall ERA.
That's off the plate to Ramirez. 1 ball. No strikes.
You'd hope that Dejan would get it middle in to Aramis. He's given up 12 home runs in 72 innings. He gave them up when he was a closer with the Brewers.
Hit batsman. 2 men are on with 1 out. As painful as that is, the Cubs happy to take the base runner. And Tumbas and Baker out again.
Tony La Russa is going to get the bullpen up and going once again. And Ramirez hit above the belt line, and that one will take your breath away. He's hit for the 10th time this year. And that's the 3rd time he's been hit as a Cub. It's been a very painful inning for the Cubs.
Yes, it has. Foul balls, hit batsman. And now Tony Womack swings for the first time here. 2 men are on with 1 out. Tie game 6-6. The left-hander gets up in that St. Louis bullpen. That's over the outside corner.
Remember, you've got Palmeiro, who's come in right field. He's got a very good arm. And Steve Klein throwing in the pen.
One strike to Womack. Little roller dribbling toward the first base line and foul. And Tony will have to protect now with a count of 0-2. Cubs head to Milwaukee after our ball game. Only the good Lord knows when that's going to be, because these teams have not had much of a margin against one another all series long. When we do play tomorrow, Juan Cruz and Ben Sheets will kick off the series Friday night. 0-2 to Womack. Alou at second. And a line drive right center field. That's going to drop. Alou is going to come around. He's going to score. And the Cubs have him first and third. And a 7-6 lead.
Big base hit for Tony Womack. Just his 2nd run batted in as a Cub. And Mike DeJong finds his walk, his hit batsman, comes back to haunt him.
Right now the Cubs are leading, and Steve Klein on with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
He's going to go head-to-head with Randall Simon and Steve Klein, who's been a very busy man, on for the 70th time.
You'd love to see Randall go against his book and show a little patience here.
That's not going to happen, but maybe he'll get a hit.
1 ball, no strikes. Klein almost threw that away.
Matheny is real good behind the plate. He drops to both knees, and he can block the ball with the best in the business. That time he saved a run.
One ball, no strikes to Randall Simon.
Well, that ball was, you can't get an appeal once the umpires called it, Randall. That's one thing, but that ball was way off the plate. Randall's only walked 13 times in 353 at bats. And
Randall saying he didn't swing.
Well, once the whole plate umpires called the strike, you can't appeal to anybody. The appellate process is over.
Oh, that's not even close. Ball 2. And Simon checked his swing, and the second pitch that was called a strike, instead of a 3-0 count, it's 2-1. I mean, it was 6 inches off the plate. C'est la vie, though. On we battle, 2-1. Bases full of Cubs. Yanked foul.
Well, Randall doesn't care if it's a right or left-hander. He usually makes contact. That's what he's looking for here from Klein. You can see with the bases loaded, because he's a contact hitter, he's had a great run at it. All the Cubs need here is 1 hit.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Inside corner, frozen, and the inning is over. Simon takes strike 3. Klein does his job, but the Cubs at least have the lead. This has been a strangely officiated game. Even we can't believe it upstairs. 7-6 heading to the 8th.
Every weekday night, tune into the stadium.
I never remembered a time where Jeff Bagwell or Derek Bell or Craig Biggio looked foolish swinging the bat against another major league pitcher.
You can tell he was built for this. It doesn't take long to see what kind of respect everyone has for him, and he gives it back too.
We still are making the connection, and we are still trying to show our students that we're there for them.
The Stadium, weeknights at 7 on Marquee Sports Network. Presented by UI Health, changing medicine for good.
And Doug.
Give me your hand! I can save you! Lots of money with Liberty Mutual. We customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The Mega Millions jackpot is now over $400 million. Yes, that's a lot of money. But more importantly, when you play, you'll be supporting our communities through education. Schools across the state are the real winners of the Illinois Lottery. When you play, they win. And we could all use a win right now, especially now. So play Mega Millions. Download the app or play online. Illinois is full of winners.
No one should face breast cancer alone. I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. When I was diagnosed in 1980, there was no internet and little information available to make an informed decision. Today at NBCF, we help women at every step of their breast cancer journey. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. Learn more at nbcf.org/hope.
Catch the Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster podcast to hear exciting conversations with former players and personalities.
Trying to shut the world out and at least have some time by myself to kind of take it all in, because as soon as it was over, it was, it was chaos for the next 4 hours.
New episodes every Monday on MarqueeSportsNetwork.com. Presented by Sloan.
I'm Javi Baez, and you're watching Marquee Sport Network.
You're watching Cubs Classics, presented by Prevagen, NL Central Rivalry Week. Let's get back to the action.
Sosa and Larry Rothschild already have been run by the home plate umpire today, who unfortunately in a series and game of this magnitude and this intensity has become a subject and maybe the center of everyone's attention. That's too bad. Cubs though do have a lead with Remlinger to face J.D. Drew. Then you've got Farnsworth warming up for Pujols, Roland, Renteria, and Cairo. But remember, Vigna and Edmonds lurking off the bench.
Well, you're not going to pinch hit for anybody until they get to Cairo. So I think it's one and done here if Remlinger can get by Drew.
That's a good start. 0-2. We are in the 8th inning. The Cubs lead by a run. They're trying to take 4 of 5 from St. Louis. And again, the visibility favoring the man on that mound right now. That's why you feel good that the Cubs obviously have the lead here.
That's one of the reasons why eventually Lee Smith will go into the Hall of Fame. He came in these situations, and a big right-hander just threw it by a whole lot of people.
And he throws it right by J.D. Drew. Remlinger strikes out his man. That's the second of the game for Remlinger. Job well done for Mike Dusty Baker now, with a little help from his bench coach Dick Pohl now. Let's see what decision, if any, is forthcoming.
Well, he's going to take out Remlinger, and he's going to go to the bullpen. He just went back to look at his lineup card to see if there was a possible double switch that he could use, and he's going to meet with Bill Hahn, talk with him. Baco out talk with Remlinger, who will leave with the lead.
Here's Albert Pujols with an 11-point lead over Todd Helton of Colorado. And now Pujols in the 8th inning of this game will face Kyle Farnsworth. Damian Miller also in the game behind the plate, with St. Louis down a run in the 8th inning.
Well, here's the good news. The Cubs do have the lead. They have 5 outs to go. Kyle Farnsworth in the game, and he wants to talk to Damian Miller. So he calls him out. And we'll take a look at Moises Alou. He fouled that ball right off the inside, it appears, of his knee, above the shin guard. It's not feeling real good, but he's got to stay in the game. The Cubs have already lost Sammy, and Moises' bat is red hot. Now, the good news, bad news is that Farnsworth has faced Pujols 9 times. 3 hits and 2 have left the ballpark.
Bases are clear. Cubs by a run, and Pujols jumps all over the first pitch. Fly ball center field, but Mother Nature helps us out big time.
Blow, wind, blow.
You got it. 2 outs.
That ball was hit awfully hard, and fortunately for the Cubs, it got above the stands and stayed in the park. I think Pujols thought he got it. He didn't.
And if everything goes right, we won't have to watch Pujols play until next year.
That'll be real good as Kenny Lofton goes back to make the catch. 4 outs to go.
So thank you, Lake Michigan, indeed, here in the 8th inning. Here's Roland. 1 for 3 with an infield hit. I mean, unlike yesterday's ball game, this game has been managed by the book.
This has been a war of attrition this entire series. It's pretty much a last man standing, or the last man who wasn't thrown out of the game. We've seen our share of that. We've seen our share of just about everything. It's been, from a fan standpoint, a viewer standpoint, a listener standpoint, and a player standpoint, one of the most compelling, entertaining, dramatic series we've ever seen.
2 balls, no strikes to Roland. Line down the left field line.
But one thing to bear in mind, when this is over, the Cubs will still have a long way to go.
Yes.
They will not see Houston. They will not see the Cardinals, who will see one another 6 times. And so regardless of the outcome of this, there's still a long way to go and a lot of work to be done.
Looping line drive over second, and Rollins aboard. A 2-out hit, and he represents the tying run, and now Renteria comes up.
Well, one of the things you have to do here is keep your eye on Roland. We've talked about the fact that for a big man he can run. He doesn't steal a whole lot of bases. He just steals them when they truly count. And he'll be looking for anything he can against Farnsworth to try to take second base. He's stolen 10 this year. He's already beaten out an infield hit, that coming in the third. So you got to make sure you hold him close.
Renteria's walked 3 times today and has flied out. Off the plate.
Renteria's hit well against Farnsworth. 4 for 12 coming in. Outfield has to back up a couple of steps. You've got to play no doubles here.
Looking ahead optimistically to the Cubs' 8th. The top of the order is coming up.
We always look ahead optimistically. We're hoping looking ahead with a 1-run lead.
That would be nice. 1 ball, no strikes to Renteria. No movement at first, and that catches the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Houston's idle today, in case you wondered about that. So if the Cubs win here, they would flip-flop positions with St. Louis and move into second place, 1/2 game behind the Astros, who are, they say, going to get Roy Oswalt back in their rotation. 1-1 pitch.
Well, we told you they're playing no doubles. With that in mind, Aramis Ramirez is close to the line at third base. For Farnsworth, he's got the visibility advantage. He's most likely going to stay away from Renteria, and if that's the case, he's going to right or right center field.
Good pitch. Again, you've got Cairo on deck, but I wouldn't count on him. I'd think Edmund Zervinia, and let's not consider him in this 8th inning. 1 more strike as the big crowd of over 35,000 rises to its feet. 35,129 officially. Very well attended series, and they've been in every pitch. The 2-2. Did he go? Cubs wanted that call, don't get it. 3-2. Now the runner will move with 2 outs.
Randall Simon is going to probably play behind Roland. Looking in at Damian Miller, he wants the slider.
3-2. Strike 3 right down the middle. No runs, 1 hit. Crowd roaring at Wrigley. Cubs seek some insurance when we return.
Introducing new Voltaren Arthritis Pain Gel, the first and only full prescription strength non-steroidal anti-inflammatory gel available over the counter. New Voltaren is powerful arthritis pain relief in a gel. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Lately, we found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
We will get our momentum back. Our businesses back. Our smiles back. Ourselves back. Because that's what this community does. At First Midwest Bank, we want to thank our colleagues for doing everything they can to help our clients and our communities get through this. Because we are all in this together. And together, we will get our momentum back. First Midwest Bank.
Restaurants are our family, the cornerstone of our communities. And our family needs help. Right now, they're facing a crisis, and they're counting on your takeout and delivery orders to help them through. Because if we don't treat restaurants like family today, they might not be around to treat us like family tomorrow. Grubhub. Together, we can help save the restaurants we love.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. Knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle, looks like advanced engineering, and smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy, mow with an attitude.
I had a husband who was my vision, but when he died, I knew I was in big trouble.
At Care.com, search for lots of local caregivers who can help with meals, housekeeping, personal care, and more. It costs less than you think, and it's easy to pay. Care.com.
Big strikeout for Kyle Farnsworth now. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And top of the order, Kenny Lofton is up.
The Cubs need an insurance run. Joe Borowski throwing in the bullpen. And if the Cubs hang on to win this, they will pick up 3 games in the standings on St. Louis in this 5-game series. They'll close to within a half a game of Houston and leapfrog the Cardinals into second.
Farnsworth to this point got the biggest out of the ball game, but they're all big. And with that in mind, Borowski's up in the bullpen, getting ready for the 9th inning. The question is, how big will the lead be? It's 1 run, 7-6. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, regardless of the outcome of this game, the Cubs will go to Milwaukee. St. Louis will go home to play Cincinnati, and Houston goes to San Diego, where nobody wants to face the Padres these days.
They will face him without Ryan Klesko, who's going to have season-ending surgery, but still a fearsome offense with Nevin, Brian Giles and company lurking out there. 2-2 to Lofton.
They've won 3 in a row and 7 of their last 10.
Full count.
Kenny Lofton has to be selective, and a good memory is a good asset here because the outside corner hasn't been called today.
Say what you will, officials don't decide the outcome of the game. Players do.
Well, in the end, look, we've got 22 hits in this one. We've gone through a number of pitchers, and in the end it's going to probably be Borowski trying to subdue this very potent Cardinal offense.
A potent offense that today has left 12 men on base through 8 innings of play.
And you're probably going to lead it off with Vina, and before it's over you're going to see Edmonds.
Yeah, Tony La Russa's not going to leave 2 of his best bullets unloaded. Ground ball, Pujols handles cleanly, and he beats Lofton to the bag by a step. 1 away in the 8th. For the catcher, Damian Miller. I think this crowd, quite honestly, is exhausted.
I think they certainly have had their money's worth, as had every crowd in this 5-game series.
Big Cub fans, John and Christopher Lecklem, watching down in Winter Park, Florida, hoping the Cubs can add to their 1-run lead here. That's in the dirt. 1-0 the count. Fly ball hit pretty hard deep toward right. Palmeiro drifting back. Look at that ball carry and then die at the last minute. 2 down.
Miller hit that ball hard, but like Pujols, he hit it too high. And the wind now that has freshened up and is blowing straight in knocked it down.
Here's Troy O'Leary. O'Leary took over after Sammy was thrown out of the game in the 3rd inning of play. O'Leary has a sacrifice and a ground out to short. And now he's going to bounce to second. Hart fields and fires, and the 8th inning in the books, and to the 9th we go. Cubs by a single run. Here we go. Top of the 9th on their feet at Wrigley Field.
Your brain is an amazing thing.
But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
I'm Mike Zen, CEO of the University of Illinois Hospital and Clinics. To our doctors, nurses, and entire staff at UI Health, thank you. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, your guidance and courage have been an inspiration. Our deepest gratitude is for your commitment to our patients. Your brave, selfless care exemplifies what makes us great. And Chicago, we are here for you. We will get through this together.
This isn't forever. It's a moment in time. We may be isolated, but we're still connected. We navigate individually, but experience this together. We're Chicago. We know how to hunker down and push through. We'll come out stronger, more resilient. Look forward to the day we'll share these spaces once again. From us at Wintrust to all of you, hang in there. We'll see you on the other side.
At Domino's, we think it's important to look on the bright side right now.
I finally got some toilet paper on Monday.
Almost every night, me and my family have had dinner together, which we haven't done in years.
You know, enjoying the fam with the little guy?
I really like that I can wear yoga pants every day.
And you can still get specialty chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, medium 2-topping pizzas, or any 2 or more mix and match items for just $5.99 each. So that's something else to be glad about.
I'm just glad I don't have to share with you guys.
That's the spirit.
Well, this is overwhelming. Where to start? Just step into a store? No, there's a better way. You know what you want? Overstock's where you find it. A sofa, a floor lamp, an area rug, with free shipping every day. Easy, right? Getting it done with Overstock, where quality costs less.
When pain wears you down, you need fast relief. And new Icy Hot Dry Spray delivers. Feel it working instantly, providing powerful relief to muscles and joints. Icy to dull, hot to relax. New Icy Hot Dry Spray.
Watching Cubs Classics presented by Prevagen, NL Central Rivalry Week. Let's get back to the action.
We head to the 9th inning. Cubs lead by a single run. Our producer of Cubs baseball on Fox Sports Net, Bob Albrecht. Our game directed by Dave Turner. Our associate producer, Joe Corneo. Stage manager, Christine Charbonneau. Production manager, Moheen Ramsey. Our executive producer, Josh Wine. Vice president of programming, Don Graham. Joe Borowski looking for save number 24.
Joe got the win yesterday, and he's on for the 59th time. It'll be Cairo to lead it off. You've got Vini in the on-deck circle. And there you look at some very impressive numbers. Joe pitched an inning and a third in yesterday's game, and he's back again.
And that one skips up there, and Borowski will do a little housekeeping as he massages the mound here at home.
Borowski on for the 3rd time in the 5-game series, covering 4 days. And right now you got a lot of tired Cubs, a lot of tired Cardinals. It'll feel a whole lot better with 3 outs.
No doubt about that. 1-0 the count. Right through there, evens it up. A night game tomorrow in Milwaukee. Night game Saturday. Sunday an afternoon affair. Then we'll travel to San Juan, Puerto Rico, have an off day in the tropics, and then play the Expos at Hiram Bithorn Stadium. 2 strikes to Cairo.
Right now, visibility very much favoring the pitchers. That's the big advantage late. 1-run games, the Cardinals have had a terrible time of it. In fairness to them, most of that came before Isringhausen was healthy.
Beaten into the ground. Cubs have to wait for gravity. The throw to first is in time. Cairo is retired here in the ninth. And now Vigna's up.
One of the things you can always depend on from Alex Gonzalez. He might not hit as much as you'd like him to hit, but he will field and he will catch it and throw it accurately in the ninth inning. That is a tremendous attribute for a major league shortstop in a pennant race.
So that'll bring up Fernando Vigna. And Matheny in the on-deck circle. Remember, the Cardinals still have Edmonds and Robinson from the left side. They have two guys that can catch as well. And Girardi and Marrero. A strike to Vigna from Borowski.
Well, Vigna very rarely walks. When I say rarely, I mean 8 of them in 189 at-bats. But he does have speed and he has a little power. He's hit 4 home runs this year.
A little high, evens up the count.
Eric Karros is trying to document everything that happens in this pennant stretch. This has been a remarkable run for the Cubs.
Little tapper off Vigna's foot. 1-2 is the count. As exciting as it is for the fans, I think we sometimes forget it's serious business for the players too, but they get into it as intensely but in a much different way.
I don't know how many shots you get at it. Most guys don't get too many, but the Cubs have their legitimate shot at it this year. Coming on the heels of 67 wins last year, it's a remarkable accomplishment.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Fernando Vigna. He hits it. Now let's see. Matheny's going to be called back. That's the last thing you wanted to have happen with a 2-strike count. And it's going to be Kerry Robinson announced now.
Well, the problem is Vigna doesn't mind getting hit. That's the 10th time he's gotten hit this year. That leads the team in that department. And with his speed, that's a real bad break as far as Borowski and the Cubs are concerned. So Robinson will come on to hit. Vigna has swiped 3 bases. He's coming back from the torn hamstring. He doesn't have the speed he might have had earlier. And you would believe that they wouldn't be running with him here.
Palmeiro waits on deck. Robinson digs in. Strike over the outside corner.
Somehow you had to believe that it wouldn't happen 1, 2, 3 in the 9th inning.
Of course not. Of course not.
Kerry Robinson with tremendous speed, but he has grounded into 3 double plays this year. It would take a monumental effort to turn one here with him going down the line from the left side.
1 ball, 1 strike. Popped out of play. 1-2 to the Cardinal pinch hitter.
Backdoor slider, a staple of Borowski all year. Base hit that doesn't score Vigna. You'd have to think that they would go to Edmonds for Hart. But first things first. The backdoor slider catches the outside corner, or a similar facsimile thereof, and the Cubs 1 out away.
I love that corner that time. Here's Palmeiro. He struck out twice. Cubs by a run, 7-6 in the 9th. 1 more out to get. Strike 1. The Cubs will be back home a week from tomorrow. The Reds in over the weekend. Then the New York Mets Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon. Good tickets available for all of those games. One strike. High and away to even up the counts.
Well, odds are overwhelming. Vina won't be running. But you can't take it for granted. You have a little history on your side with that number. At this point in this situation, it means squat.
Vina at first. Fly ball, center field, shallow hit. Who wants it? Kenny Lofton is there. He and Alu open. The Cubs win 7-6. They take 4 of 5 from St. Louis.
In one of the great series the Cubs have been involved in a long time, they take 4 of 5 from St. Louis, gain 3 games on them in the standings, wind up a half game back of Houston, leapfrog the Cardinals into second place, and show the kind of character that a couple of years ago you would only dream about from the Chicago Cubs. This is a brand new group of players who played their hearts out in this series, and it's on to Milwaukee with a whole lot of work completed here, and we will not see the Cardinals or the Astros during the regular season.
Standing ovation for the Cubs as they head to their clubhouse at Wrigley Field. As Steve said, a whole lot accomplished in this series. I know Dusty Baker and those guys will relish the win today, but they know there's still a whole lot of work ahead. Not much time to celebrate this one. The Brewers are waiting tomorrow night.
That does it for this edition of Cubs Classics, NL Central Rivalry Week, presented by Prevagen. Thanks for watching.